Hey everyone, okay, so it's been a while since my last video, and that's actually because I've had a lot on. Like, I got my ACL surgery eventually, so I'm going to be talking about that. And this video is basically just like how I actually tore my ACL in the first place. I'm going to try not make it too long because nobody wants to be sitting around for 30 minutes listening to me kind of like talk about how much in pain I was and stuff, but here's the lowdown. So back in 2019, in October, I entered a taekwondo competition. This is my first taekwondo competition in I don't know how many years, but I was determined to enter it and do the best I possibly could. In doing so, I may have pushed myself a little bit too much in the competition and I ended up tearing my ACL. So the first day it was Pumses and that was fine. I did a competition in that. I was okay. I wasn't brilliant. Could have done a lot more practice, and that's something I promised myself I would do for the next competition. I came second, so that was great, and I went home and then said I'd get a good night's sleep, have a good nutrition, and the next day do the best I could for sparring. Okay, so sparring, in case you don't know, is where it's 1v1 and you're basically attacking each other trying to get points. So you get, I think 1 point is all here, and then it's like 2 points to the head, and it's 3 points for, say, back kicks or spin kicks or something like that. So I did all the nutrition part okay, but I was like really like pumped up and excited for the sparring competition. I was like nervous as well because it wasn't just Ireland, it wasn't just like a few different schools like I'd entered before. This competition was actually like a big deal. It was national, so there was like a French team there. There was the Irish team there, and there was the English team there. So, like, basically, everything was fine. I think I only got like 3 hours sleep that night. Like 3 hours. So I came in, I was wrecked, and had a coffee in the morning, had porridge with 2 bits of dark chocolate and peanut butter to give me like a boost. And I was waiting for a long time because you never know when you're going to be called. So you have to be there by 9 a.m., but you mightn't be called on to like 2 p.m. So I was waiting for ages to be called, and I could actually feel myself feeling heavier because I was just so tired. So when I got another coffee to try and wake me up, and eventually I got called. So I got called, did the competition, and it's there and then I realised my stamina was not up to scratch. It was 3 minutes per round, and I think I'd only ever done something like 90 seconds to 2 minutes, but 3 minutes is an international level, so that's what I did. And I was against a girl who was a green tip, and I am a black belt, so that was all fine. And I couldn't knock her out, so I had to keep going on points. And in terms of points, like, yeah, I won, but in terms of stamina, I honestly, I was so out of breath at one point, I just basically looked like I gave up and let the other girl get her points. Now, I'm not saying every single point she got was because I let her. Like, she did get decent kicks in there, and all that sort of stuff. It was a decent match, not going to lie. But the point was that I was struggling fitness wise in terms of stamina because I was only like walking and I was doing HIIT to train for this. I wasn't doing any like 5 kilometers runs, which I should have been doing, and swimming. And that's all because I was fitting in, different bits and pieces as well, like, strength training and all that. So it was my first mistake. So then the next one came and I had like maybe a couple of minutes rest and I had to go again. And this time I was up against someone who was a black belt as well, like second or something like that. And yeah, it was okay. But I was so out of breath and finished at this stage that I was just kind of like, I'm not able, like, and she was taller than me, this girl, so I was trying to, I knew I wasn't going to be, I was too tired, I wasn't going to be able to hit her head, so I was like, kind of like in the ring, and I was kind of like just moving around a bit and stuff, and then kind of going in, hit, go back out, move around a little bit, and basically what I was trying to do was I was trying to get the other girl to move a bit more, so that, she'd lose a bit of stamina as well, rather than me just go hit, me get retired, she having all the stamina in the world, and then just going mental. And it was working, I was winning on points. And then I don't know what happened, But all I can remember is I fell over in pain. I hit my head on the ground and I just roared in pain. It was so sore. It was the sorest injury I've ever had in my life. Like I've pulled muscles before when I was like first starting fitness. You know, I've kind of overdone myself, you know, deadlifting and stuff, and I've, you know, whatever. But once I got the form right, all that kind of went away, and then it was fine. But like never anything mental. No, I've never had any injuries before in my life until that, except for like small little, you know, when the form wasn't great. But then that always happens, and then I knew what to do, and I was fine. But then like that happened and I was in so much pain. So the next thing anyway, straight away, like yada yada yada, got in to get checked out. They thought I dislocated my knee, but that wasn't the case. So I went to the hospital. They just said it was a slightly torn meniscus, nothing to worry about. And I was like, man, that's sore for a slightly torn meniscus. So look, I just, you know, I kind of ended up just doing some exercises myself and whatever, and it seemed to come right. So I started CrossFit, and I could always feel a bit of a wobble. You know, I started running again, and again I could always feel a bit of a wobble. But I just thought it was part of the, you know, recovery process. So everything was fine and all of that. One day I was in the middle of a pound fit class. I was doing fine, did a little jump, landed like really, really wide, which, you know, I should have been in a little bit more, but I think I was just tired, so I kind of like landed out. Landed, and then knee went straight back out again, and it was really sore, but not as sore as the last time. So I went again to the hospital, and they just said, yeah, it's just torn ligaments, just take a few painkillers and you'll be fine. Okay, but I was like, you know, I'm not going to settle for this. You know, I listened to you the last time, and it obviously wasn't fine. You know, if I got sorted, this wouldn't have happened, and I'd be fine. So I went in as far as Limerick to get an MRI, and they said it was a grade 3, which is the worst you can get, torn meniscus, torn ACL. So then I knew it was really, really serious, because that means there was absolutely nothing around my knee that was like holding it in place, and that's why there was the wobbling constantly. That's why I was, you know, for every jump I took there was a wobble, and for the big jump I did, it kind of went straight out. So the next thing was I went to Barrington's Hospital in Limerick, and they says, listen, it's surgery or nothing. It's surgery or you gotta just give up fitness altogether. That means I'd have to give up taekwondo, give up hapkido, you know, give up all these things I love, and like just stick to walking and like light swimming and stuff for the rest of my life, and that's just not me. So we did that, and then like it was scary in a way, because it was like 2 years, like almost 2 years on, until I got called for the operation. And I just kind of thought, like, you know, the faster you get the operation, the more successful it's going to be, and there's a big chance it's not going to be successful when I go in for the operation. And I was like really, really scared that could be it, and I'd have like just start thinking of different careers, and I was, you know, looking up other like things to do, other like activities to get involved in, you know, and all of that, and it was just scary, like just, you know, because I didn't really know, and I suppose then because of COVID, it's even that little more scary, because you're thinking a bit too much about it. Do you know, Google was not my best friend. Looking up different things like that, kind of like what could go wrong and all of that. But I had faith in the HSE. So, you know, if you want to know what happens, you can always look at the next video, and I will talk about the operation and what happened. Okay, so this is going to be a weekly thing, by the way. You know, the next video is obviously going to be about the operation and the time after that, and then the next video then will be kind of like updates on how my physio is going. I've actually started physio, so every video is going to be like maybe like 2 weeks behind. But yeah, if you want to keep up with what's happening, you can just follow my Instagram. It's Limitless Fitness 101. Okay, bye.